Good to go. Okay. And let me start by start by saying that if you did not get a question, tonight is just a live Q&A, like I shared in our team page. If you did not get a question posted, and there's something that you want to ask, or as we kind of navigate the questions that did get asked, if something comes up or if you think of something, either unmute yourself and interrupt me, or you can use the chat feature, the little chat box, and you can just pop it up in there, and I'll definitely be sure to keep a check on that so that we get everybody's questions answered as we go. So the few things that I wanted to reiterate, I did a live in our team page on, I don't know, maybe Friday that kind of hit on a few of these things. So I just want to encourage you to go back and watch that live. It was super short. I just kind of talked about how I shared my October marketing plan with you guys so that you could go through that and just kind of see what my kind of game plan and strategy is for the month of October. You're more than welcome to join in on any and all groups that I'm running or sneak peeks that I'm doing. Another thing is that Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of like my designated one-on-one call days. This is for my challengers and coaches and our entire downline. So even if you're not my personally sponsored coach, you're more than welcome to grab a spot on that Google Drive document. You should be able to just click on that Google Drive link and then edit the document yourself. I think I just asked for like your name, who your personally sponsored upline is, and then of course find a day and time that works for you. And then if there's any kind of notes or anything that you want me to know specifically as far as like things that you want to talk about, or if you just want to catch up on life or whatever, just be sure to kind of throw that in there too. So tomorrow will be kind of our first day for that. And there's no really rhyme or reason to why I decided to do that outside of the fact that I felt like it would create a true consistency in our team of knowing that you always have the opportunity to set up a one-on-one call with me. Like at any point, no matter where you're at in your business, no matter what you're struggling with or what kind of success you're having, however I can help you, that is what I'm here for as your coach. So just to kind of create a more consistent effort in terms of that. And then also consistency on my end in terms of making sure that those are 2 days I force myself to set aside time for those things. So outside of that, I wanted to talk about the work really quickly, which kind of segues in really nicely to one of the questions that I've been getting a lot. Not necessarily a question that was posted in the page about questions for tonight, but a few of you guys have texted me throughout the course of today asking me specifically about the promo codes associated with the work. So I want to touch on that really quick, and then we'll kind of go into these questions that you guys asked. Don't forget to throw them up in the chat if you think of anything else. So hopefully you're aware of the fact that the work launched today, September 30th. My boot camp for that group is not kicking off until the 14th. And like I mentioned, we'll start prep next Monday on the 7th. But like I mentioned in that live that I did in our team page, if you don't plan on running a 6 weeks of the work boot camp, you are more than welcome to hop in mine, even if it's just as a challenger. The more the merrier in that group, because this is the test group for the program. And so I really want you to consider, if you are doing this program, how pivotal it could kind of be for your business, whether you're launching your business or you're looking to kind of relaunch your business. This is the test group, and these are the results that are going to be used for future marketing for this program. So if we just have a bunch of coaches on our team in that group, like, hey, that works good for me. So be sure that you're aware of that. The promo codes that are associated with the program. Everybody who is an active coach should have gotten an email with one promo code in it, okay? This promo code is attached to your coach ID, so you as a coach. And what that promo code does is it gives any of your new customers who purchase a 6 weeks of the work challenge pack $20 off the pack. It also gives any of your current customers who already have Beachbody On Demand who are looking for a completion pack, $10 off the completion packs. I got a few questions today from some of our newer coaches about the difference between a challenge pack and a completion pack. And the difference is that a challenge pack is what a brand new customer signs up with that gives them everything that comes in the challenge pack bundle that they pick, plus the 12 months worth of VOD access for the entire year. And a completion pack is for somebody who already has access to the Beachbody On Demand library. So it's a completion pack as far as that program is concerned. So $10 off completion packs, $20 off challenge packs. You can use that promo code an unlimited amount of times. So reach out to anybody and everybody that is already a current customer of yours. I sent out a big email blast. I posted in all my challenge groups, and I just gave them that code to use for in case they decided that they wanted to sign up. And then, of course, just had them let me know so that I could add them to my list to get them invited into the group. And then on top of that, if somebody purchased a challenge pack during the month of September, so September 1st through today, and then they decide that they want that early access to 6 weeks of the work, they should have gotten a personal email straight to their email account that they used when they signed up with a like a $10 coupon code, I guess. It's not necessarily a promo code. Well, I guess it is. It's used as a promo code, but it basically gives them that $49.95 VIP early access thing as $10. Like all they have to do is pay $10. So if they purchased a challenge pack during the month of September, they should have gotten an email. They pay $10 using the code in the email and they get early access. So it basically cuts that VIP early access price down from $49.95 to $10. I would check in with all of your customers who purchased packs during the month of September just to let them know that they should have gotten that email. I hope that that clears up some of the confusion about promo codes and the work. One of the questions that I've been getting a lot recently from a lot of you is, do I have to stop doing Morning Meltdown to start the work? Absolutely not. Like I do not recommend stopping a program to start a new program because it kind of shows some inconsistency. I decided way back when that I was going to start doubling up on my workouts just so that I could finish in time to do the work, because that kind of just aligned with my goals and what I wanted to do for my own personal business. But if that's not what you're doing, if you haven't already kind of strategized that kind of game plan, finish Morning Meltdown. That is like the #1 thing, whether it's Morning Meltdown in the work or 21 Day Fix Real Time or whatever. The #1 thing that I tell all of my coaches is you have to complete our programs from start to finish for your own journey and for your business's sake, because it shows consistency and that when you start something, you're going to finish it. So kind of seeing that process through. So no, do not stop doing what you're doing to start 6 weeks of the work. I would personally, though, go on ahead and get your own personal VIP access, because you will not have access to that in the BOD library until April when that program comes out. So I would personally go on ahead and get access to it for yourself. I would still share the program and the opportunity with your followers and with your challengers in case it is something that kind of aligns with where they're at. And maybe just share what your game plan is. You know, I finished Morning Meltdown on this day. I'll be starting the work on this day. We have a team-wide group starting on the 14th if you want to go on ahead and get started before me, so on and so forth. Like just kind of figure out what fits best with your own journey and with your business. So that was a question that I was getting a lot that I wanted to address for sure. Okay, now let's hop into some of the questions that were posted in the team page. Okay, so the first question that was asked was, what should we do daily to begin a coaching business? And I know some of you who have heard this more than once, which is probably everybody on this call, you're probably like, oh my gosh, don't say those 3 words ever again. I'm tired of hearing them. Business activity tracker in your back office. So if you go to your back office and you go to training, it's called your business activity tracker. This tracker literally walks you through every single thing that you should do in your business every single day. And if you follow that tracker and you do those things on a daily basis, you will have no choice but to move your business forward, because that tracker focuses on our 4 vital behaviors. And it's actually broken up into those 4 kind of different categories. One being a product of the product. So the very top box of that tracker says, did you do your workout? Check. Did you drink your shake? Check. The next box on your business activity tracker is all about connecting, inviting, and following up. So are you connecting with new people? Are you inviting people to a challenge group? And are you following up with people? The next box is recognition, I think. Let me pull it up to look before I start lying to you guys. And that is, are you recognizing the efforts of your challenger? Are you logging your workout and things in your challenge groups? Are you providing value to your challengers? So on and so forth. And then that last little section is personal development. Did you do your personal development for that day? Let me see, I have it pulled up right here. Yes, getting people results. That's that third category. Duh. So contributing to your challenge group, recognizing achievement in your challenge groups. That is literally what we do as a coach. We focus on our own journey, we share it with other people, and we help them get results to do the same. So follow that business activity tracker. We had a conversation during our coffee chat a couple weeks ago about how some people were kind of overwhelmed with everything that was on the tracker. If that's the case, hop into Excel or into Google Sheets and create a tracker that is more simplified, that works best for you, but that still encompasses all of those things, those vital behaviors that we're supposed to be doing on a daily basis. You guys, I will preach this till I'm blue in the face. If you follow our programs if you share that with other people, and if you invite people to do this with you, and you're constantly running challenge groups to help those people get results, you will grow a business, period. Like that is all that we do as coaches. Now, the scale that you do that on is totally dictated by what your goals are, right? So the number of invites or the amount of minutes that you spend every single day inviting people, or how you talk about the coaching opportunity is kind of dictated by, you know, what kind of growth you're looking for in your organization and all of that fun stuff. But the very root of what we do is on that tracker. It's the 4 vital behaviors. And if you're a super brand new baby coach and you're like, okay, I'm so overwhelmed, I don't know where to start, just start sharing what you're doing and talking to the people closest to you. We call it your warm market, the people that already know, like, and trust you. Your friends, your family members. Keep it super casual and have confidence in the conversation and just say, hey, I'm doing this program. I'm loving it. The accountability group aspect is so much fun. I would love for you to do this with me. And as you continue to show up every day in your business, those people who maybe you're not as close to, or maybe the people that you are super close to in your warm market, but that have already told you no, those people will watch your journey and watch your transformation, and you will inspire them to say yes at some point. I promise you. We have like this little tagline in the business that that says something like, you know, the conversations that you have today are going to pay off in your business 6 months from now. And that is so true. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, you're right.
Hit the nail on the head.
I will say, like, it seems like, though, that as your market shifts from warm to cold, though, that it is time and consistency that will get you success on that. That's what I've seen from your journey. Because you have like this period after your warm market's done, you're like, okay, what's going on now? Yeah, now the scary part happens. But consistency of your posts and just showing someone that, hey, this is what I do now, like that you are that person, then they'll trust you and they'll go to you when they're ready to make that change in their life. So. Yeah,
and I think he is kind of seeing that firsthand in my business, because I have been doing it so long that at this point, 88% of all of my new challengers every month that I get Success Club points from, that join my new boot camps, are from my cold market. And I will, we'll be having a conversation at dinner, and I'll tell him about, one of the girls in my groups and conversation that we had, or how great she's doing. And he'll be like, well, how do you know her? And I'm like, what's my number one answer?
It's always like
Instagram. Yeah. I met her on Instagram. Yeah. And
it's always like, oh, I talked to her like 7 years ago one day, and then all of a sudden she hit me up.
Yeah.
It's like, now that happens all the time.
It happens so often.
Not 7 years ago, obviously, but a long time ago.
Months ago. And that is why I know it's so insanely challenging to really kind of take to heart when I say that conversations you have today pay off 6 months from now, and to keep going and to take the no's as just not right nows, because it's so easy to get discouraged from those kind of obstacles and challenges that we navigate and go through in our business. But you guys, like, I am living proof every single day with conversations that I have that those conversations pay off. Like he said, somebody that I had a conversation with 10 months ago, who I followed up with 8 times and who never responded any of those 8 times, but I kept like, hey, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you. Are you ready? Because the bottom line is they have to be ready. Now join me. And so it's just so important to just keep at it. And like he mentioned, consistency over time is what builds you a business long-term, period. Point blank. But right now, if you're early on and you're a brand new coach, start showing up, start staying consistent, and have conversations with the people closest to you. And I will also say this: don't get discouraged when some of those people that are closest to you laugh in your face, judge you, or say no, because some of my very closest, longest time friends have no interest 3 years later in what I'm doing with Beachbody. Not only the coaching aspect, but the challenge groups. They're like, oh no, I'm not working out at home. Like, oh my gosh, you're doing a workout again when I go to stay at their house for the weekend. Or, oh, you're drinking that shake still. They don't get it. But guess what? I don't care. You do you, I'm gonna do me. So all you can do is show up and lead by example, and invite them and let them know that they're welcome, and then bless and release and move on. Which kind of leads us into the next little, not really a question. Well, yeah, I guess it is kind of a question for you, Brett. Somebody asked, is Brett doing is Brett doing all of Morning Meltdown 100 with you? I was going to try to get my husband to start with me next Monday, but it's going to take a lot of convincing. So I'm going to start this, and then I'm going to have him take the mic here. You cannot convince anybody to do any program with you, whether it's your spouse or somebody else, and expect it to stick long term, especially a program like Morning Meltdown, because it's 100 workouts, which is a long ass time, and it's not super easy, right? Especially like cardio, which he did with me today. So,
although you can't expect them to, like you said, you can't expect them to ever commit to that. It has to be
on their terms.
That's
what I was saying. Like you can't try to like bribe them to do it with you and expect it to stick. That's what I'm saying.
I got you.
Yeah. So it took, why don't you tell them like how long it took, how many times I asked you, how long it took you to join me, and like that kind of process.
On Morning Meltdown?
No.
Oh.
Just in general.
In general, it took a while because I was always like, of course I was an athlete in high school and stuff, and I do what?
Look at them.
Oh, okay. Anyways, what was I saying? It took probably 6 months, you think? Or longer?
Are you kidding me?
Or longer?
Are we in the same marriage here?
Okay, before I decided to, I would work out, but I was like, I'm doing my own workout. Like
yes.
I had my own weights, and I'll do my own workout. And then,
well, first it was, I'm not going to work out not in a gym, but then when that wasn't feasible for our life, then you started working out at home, but you were not about to watch a trainer on a TV.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I was like, no.
Yeah.
And then I started watching, what was the one? Were you in Hammer and Chisel? And Sagi, I was just like sitting back there laughing at what this guy was saying. And I was cracking up, and I was like, wow, but he's jacked though. So it's obviously working. And she was like, just try one. So I tried one, and it sucked so bad. Like I was like, new respect for the kind of shape that you were in from doing these workouts, first of all. And it was killing me because I couldn't keep up with you. And so I was like, you know what? That's probably the real deal, and I'll try it out. And then
you did Body Beast.
I did Body Beast, and I liked that a lot because I think it also, like, different programs have to be like, still even like today, I have done Lift 4 all the way through probably 3 times now. I feel like, give or take, and maybe not completely through every time, but. And so, like, that's my go-to workout because that's like my style. I mean, I enjoy it. It's heavy weights. You still got the cardio in there, abs every day, like. Just the style was what I enjoyed. I enjoyed lifting heavy weights. Like that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so that program incorporates a lot of that. Now, Morning Meltdown, we did that one. I did the whole week of the 10-day sample with you. And I tried the whole thing. I was like, yep, I'll do that. And I enjoyed it. Like it worked me hard. And I will still jump in with like today we did cardio on that one together. And I'll jump in like when I want to get some cardio in with her. But that workout, the style necessarily for me isn't exactly like my fit, doing the everyday stuff. But it's like, I don't know, the more complicated moves and stuff, but now it's obviously great. You love it, and a lot of people love it. So, I mean, to each their own. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that what it comes down to is, I'm going to speak for you here, so you can agree or disagree, but it took me showing up every day for myself and him either like sitting in the living room while I was in our little spare room.
I would sit and watch TV while you were working out right in front of me.
So so not interested. Or you guys, I would be doing Country Heat, and he would sneak around the corner and video me and post it on his Snapchat so everybody could laugh at my uncoordinated.
Whatever.
Moves. You totally did that.
No.
But anyways, it took me showing up consistently over time for him to be like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. And then once he gave it a shot, even to this day, 2 years later, it takes finding a program that just speaks to you, right? Like it's the same for our spouses or for men in general as it is for us. It's you have to find something that works for you, but by you showing up every day, it's going to inspire them to do the same. Same kind of thing with like the nutrition aspect. So even once he started working out with Beachbody programs, he still ate like a 12-year-old kid, like not interested. I would literally either cook 2 separate meals, or he would cook his own food and I would cook my own.
I'm like, I'm not eating that. I'm gonna have a bowl of mac and cheese for dinner.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
But then he decided that he wanted better results. He wanted to feel better, or like metabolism slows down as you get a little bit older.
That happens.
The dad bod starts to happen. And so, but those were choices that he made on his own. I just tried to like lead from the front, just like we do with our teams, right? We lead from the front as far as showing our coaches how to show up for themselves and show up for their business and all of that fun stuff. So I would say, like with Morning Meltdown, I asked him very nicely. I might have bribed him, I'm not really sure,
Yeah, I
to
think you bribed me.
to do those 10 sample workouts with me, just to open up his mind and stay open to like maybe doing Morning Meltdown with me. He did all 10 in a row with me, and he was like, I really love the built-in cardio and the built-in stretching days, and I feel like that's not something I do enough of. So on those days, I'll jump in, and that's what he does.
Yep.
On those, or if he needs a leg day and I'm doing downbeat strength that day,
leg day, yeah.
he'll jump in.
Because if I go do legs on my own, I'm not gonna do it very hard.
He half-asses it. Let's
I'm
be
gonna find
honest.
every
Right.
excuse to not do
Yeah.
legs. So if I jump in on one of those workouts, though, it's like you're in it, you're in the moment, it's
Mhm.
going fast paced, like boom, before you know it, my legs are dead.
Yeah.
So it's good.
And same thing, whether we're talking about your spouse, I know I haven't gotten this question a lot lately, but I feel like I used to get a lot of questions from coaches on our team about struggling working the business without having true spousal support. And I think that I feel like there's this fine line, some tough love here. There's this fine line between I don't know how to say it without sounding like an ass.
Mhm.
Your spouse should support you no matter what, especially if you're showing up for yourself every day. These programs and this coaching business literally make you a better human, period. Even if you're not growing a huge team or hitting Success Club every month, if you are doing the vital behaviors and you're doing our programs and you're showing up and you're doing personal development, you're a better human. When you're a better human, you're a better wife, you're a better mom, you're a better all the things, friend. And so they should see that and should respect that and should support you. And that was a conversation that we've had on team calls before that hasn't come up now, but I feel like it goes hand in hand with this workout thing. Like, they'll join you when they're ready, but just lead from the friends at the example. And that goes with anybody in your life, best friend, mom, sister, whoever. Like they don't have to love what you're doing, but I can promise you that they're sitting back and they're watching you and they're thinking like, man, I wish I could do what she does as far as like staying consistent, showing up and doing my workouts. So just keep doing you.
I'm reading these. There are people are putting chats in here. We've kind of not.
We have more questions.
No, I just like kind of
About
responding to
husband
that.
stuff. Yeah, scroll down some.
And yeah, I'm like, it's not like I'm like a typical guy. I mean, I'm telling you straight up, I'm a typical man when it comes to this stuff. And it just took, like you said, just time. And legitimately, like the more you would pressure me, like the more I'd be like, no.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
made it
doing
worse.
that.
Yeah.
No. So it's just like you had to just kind of like say, hey, look, I'm doing my thing here. If you want to anytime, come on in. And like you said, who was it here said that you said your husband like sweated more than he ever had in his life. Yeah. I was like, listen, I wrestled in high school and those workouts were crazy. Like there's no way this is gonna do anything for me. And then I did like that one workout and I was like, I am not 17 years old, first of all, and second of all, this is the real deal. So yeah, I guess the main thing that convinced me from the outside looking in was the results that you got first and foremost, and then the confidence that you had in it and in yourself. And there I was like, well, this is a pretty good deal. And the nutrition side was the longest process for me to get into. It was the hardest process, but I was like, I've got to eat something harder. I can't eat diet food. I can't eat health food. And that's like every other guy that I talk to, like, oh, you're dieting? Like I work in the oil field, so you can imagine the kind of guys I work around. And I'm packing my lunch. I'm like prepping food now and taking it to work. And they give me crap about it, but I'm like, hey. But they're also like, hey, so what do you do? Like, how do you work out? Like, exactly. Here, this is what I do. And I'm like, I do this program. My wife does it. And they're like, and so I haven't got any guys that work, but I haven't really pushed them. But they're seeing me and like, I'm not saying I have results. I look different now than I did 2 years ago. So, it all kind of comes in together though with just consistency and being confident. I think, like you said, being a product of the product, that's
number one.
Probably the most important, because then no one can deny that what you're doing is working.
Yeah, exactly.
It's obviously working.
And Brittany, you mentioned in the chat that as far as like your spouse understanding like how, like when you're working the business and when you decide to kind of go all in with coaching, she mentioned that she blocks out specific time separate from her family time. And you guys, that is so insanely important. And I will also say he was extremely supportive and understanding early on, because I was not good at understanding how to like not spend my entire evening on my phone. And the second I would get a message or somebody that was interested, I mean, you probably remember, I would just like, oh my gosh, somebody's interested. Like I have to hurry up and respond before they lose interest. And then, the fact of the matter is if they really want to join your boot camp, they're going to be there tomorrow. Right. And so in order for you to not get burnt out, and in order for your family to not get burnt out because you're glued to your cell phone, You have to figure out a way to work this business that coincides with the life that you live, period. You want this business to fit into your life. You don't want to have to like mold your life around it, because if you do have big goals and dreams with this business, it will give you more freedom than you've ever had in lots of different ways. And so you have to kind of just stay focused on making sure that you're giving 100% to those pieces of your life that deserve 100%. And that is your family at this time, and that is your business at this time. So be sure to, that's a really good
Plus,
point.
like, hey, honey, I'm making money. Okay, cool. Do that.
Well, that was later on in the business.
I mean, it's not like I'm just sitting here on my phone, like, I'm making money. I'm up here scrolling Facebook laughing at stupid videos. You're over there making money. So
this is true too. Okay, another question was, I think we already kind of talked about this. If you're nowhere near done with Morning Meltdown, should we keep going or switch to the work? Keep going. Keep going. I would definitely, like I said, let your followers and your challengers know that the work is an option for them when you're going to be starting it. The fact that we have a team-wide group starting on the 14th if they want to start sooner. But complete your program for sure. I'm excited to talk about this one. And I'm going to try to not keep you guys more than 20 minutes because this one's going to run just a little bit longer. But I'm worried my followers on social media are going to get sick of me talking about Beachbody. Did you struggle with this? Yes, I struggled with this early on. However, you have to remember a few things. You are not just Beachbody, right? Beachbody plays a huge role in all of our lives because it changes our lives. We're super excited about it and want to share it so much with other people. And big ticket item here, you probably did not share as openly your life or yourself on social media until you became a Beachbody coach.
Oops, it's all out there now.
And so it's probably really easy. I mean, it is really easy for us to, like, when we go to our social media page and we think about what to share, we just go to Beachbody, right? Because like that is why a lot of us share so openly on social media, is to connect with other people, to help connect them to Beachbody in our programs. But you have got to shift your mindset. And I will tell you, you find way more confidence in what you're sharing and how you're sharing. And when you do share Beachbody, you have way more confidence in those things when you do this. You have to shift your mindset from not just like, I am Beachbody, that's all I share, to I'm creating a brand and I'm adding value to people's lives in lots of different ways. And so think about things, we used to have this little activity that we would do where you like list 5 things that you feel like really encompass who you are as a person, right? Like, I'm a mom, I'm into fashion, I'm into fitness, obviously. I have a really cute dog, or, whatever the case may be.
We do have a cute dog.
Yeah, we do. He's super needy. Not as cute as Cooper. Think about those things. Like, think about who you are and what makes up your life, things that you enjoy, hobbies that you have, and share those pieces of your life, and know that your responsibility as a Beachbody coach, outside of sharing Beachbody, is to add value to other people's lives. So, for example, I'm really, believe it or not like super into hair and makeup and clothes. However, I get a lot of questions about hair, makeup, and clothes on my Instagram. So I make it an intentional point to share those things on my Instagram, because that is what people want to see from me. And those are questions that I get a lot. Also, I'm a new mom. I have like new favorite baby products that I didn't know anything about before I had a baby. And so I feel like it's super valuable as a new mom to look at what other new moms love, things that they share on their page that they love. So I share things that I love as far as baby products go, right? Like, those things aren't Beachbody related, but it's adding value to other people's lives. It's helping me create my brand and like what I stand for and who I am. It helps people get to know me. People get to know you, they start to trust you. And then when the time is right and they do want to start a journey, you're the person that they come to. And so I think if you can change your mindset from, I'm a Beachbody coach, I only share Beachbody, to I am creating a brand, I'm allowing people to get to know me, and I'm adding value to their lives, and share all of those things too, then you'll feel less obnoxious in sharing Beachbody stuff. So I have like, before the week starts, and I've shared this with you guys on our team page too, I kind of create like a social media plan. I like bought some new shorts I want to share. I bought Tilly this new thing that I want to share. I also have a challenge group starting next week, so I need to post about that a couple times. And then I always talk about coaching at least once or twice a week. So I space those out in a way that's like, when people come to my page, they know that I'm into fitness. They know that I'm running a business. That's super important if you're trying to grow an organization. They see that I'm like into fashion, that I'm a new mom, that I have a baby, that I'm married, all of those things. There's Cooper.
There's a little dog.
So I hope that kind of like eases the fear a little bit of feeling like people are constantly judging you by just sharing Beachbody. Don't just share Beachbody, right? People need to know that you have something to offer them as far as Beachbody is concerned, but the way that they're going to connect to you is by getting to know you. So think about those things that make up your life and that allow you to share your personality and things that you love outside of Beachbody. And I think that you'll find that it just becomes a lot. Yes, Brittany, I will definitely post the recording. You'll find that it's a lot easier to share.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's like for me when I'm going on Instagram, which I'm very recent on Instagram, but like especially like watching stories and stuff, the people that I follow, it's not necessarily like for a purpose, like just for, and I know that I'm a guy and it's a little bit different, you know, but like someone that posts something interesting is why I'm going to follow them. And like people that might follow you, I feel like this has happened with the majority of your followers. They're following you because, oh, she's kind of interesting. Like she posts a lot too. So that's, you know, something to follow and something to
value,
something to see every day.
Yeah.
You're always gonna be there. It's something that's value. And then like at that day, they may not even be interested in trying to, you know, work on health and fitness at all. But like you've seen from your messages, 8 months down the road, that person has followed you. They're like, hey, I see this girl post about this. She gets results. She has people that get results. Boom, there's the person right there.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's the posting about it is important so that they know that you are that person to go to. But yeah, you don't want to flood them with it because you're going to lose followers from that.
You're going to be annoying.
Yeah.
And I always too, I do this very frequently, like at least every quarter of the year, every 3 months or so, if not sometimes every month. I think about the pages that I follow that I find myself. So here's what I think whenever I post something on social media. I want to post in a way that, because algorithms on Instagram suck, like let's be honest, right? They suck. So I want people to go to that little explore tab at the bottom and type in I am Beth Isbell at the top to come see what I'm doing on my page, right? Because if I'm not popping up in their newsfeed and they're not watching my stories, I want to provide enough value and be consistent enough to them and be attractive enough to them that they're going to come look at what I'm doing. So think about pages that you follow. And this is where I, like every quarter or so, I kind of reevaluate what I'm attracted to on Instagram and what is it about those pages or those people that that make me go to their pages. And that is what I try to emulate in my own style and in my own way on my Instagram page. And so I found myself like going to new moms' pages and looking up like how they were sleep training their babies or what their favorite swaddles were, or, you know, whatever the case may be, or fashion bloggers like that specifically shop at like American Eagle, Target, and Walmart, because I'm all about cheap fashion and I'm going to Target later. So I want to see like what Target has. So I go to her page, those kind of things. So just think about what you're attracted to on social media. What is it about those people? And I can promise you 9 times out of 10, if that person does social media as a business avenue or for some kind of revenue, you probably feel like you're BFFs. Am I right? Hashtag am I right? There are so many people I follow on Instagram and probably people that Brett feels like he knows personally, because I'm like, oh my gosh, so-and-so today said yada, yada, yada. Or I'll say, hey, do you remember that girl that I told you did this and did that?
You describe them as like what they do.
And he'll say their name.
Cousins of Pilot by Tesla.
Yeah. So Emily Favre, I'm mildly obsessed with her. She finished as the number 3. Shut up. We're in the same life phase. She finished as the number 3 coach last year. And so her husband is a pilot in
Tesla.
In one of the branches of the military. She bought him a Tesla last year. She has a new baby and she has this really cool dog named Miss Goose. And so whenever I'm like telling Brett something that I saw on her page, I'm like, hey, do you remember that girl that like has the dog and her husband's in the military and he's a pilot and he flies planes, she has a new baby? And he's like, oh, Emily? And I'm like, yeah, Emily.
The other day I said Emily, you're like, what?
You
How
said
do you
her,
know that?
He said Emily Favre. He knew her full name.
Well, it's her Instagram handles.
Well, I know, but you don't follow her on Instagram.
I know.
Point aside,
Yeah.
that's what you need to, like, that's what you want people to think of when they see, like, when they think of your page or your personality. You want them to feel like they know you. So just share parts of your life that allow them to get to know you.
Yeah.
Yes, about her dogs. And then the last question that we got on Instagram was, and I hate that Brittany had to drop off real quick. I don't know if she's back, but this was her question. I'm in a life funk right now. Basically, she's having a hard time figuring out how to stay positive and not be sad, not being a Debbie Downer, but still not sharing all of her family's, personal business. And she's having trouble figuring out how to share where she's not like being fake, essentially. So how do you handle heavy life situations while being so transparent in this business? We did a team call several months back, and I will try to remember to post the link to it when I share this one. I'll post it in the comments of this recording, about how to navigate your business through life. Because here's the thing. Life doesn't care how big your goals are with this business, right? And how positive you need to be to shine a light onto other people's lives, right? Like, life is going to keep going. Life is going to happen. Life gets hard. And our responsibility is to figure out, here's our responsibility. Our responsibility is to be working on ourselves so much in a way that navigating those tough life phases, because it becomes a little bit easier because of all the work that we've done on ourselves. Okay. Like, that is the bottom line. Now, the way that we share those things with other people is totally individualistic based on your personality, how comfortable you feel, how transparent you want to be, so on and so forth. I will say though, that there is a way to share the struggles that you're going through, the challenges that you're facing, the hardships that you're encountering without telling the world your family's personal business and without having to put a fake smile on your face. Because here's the thing. People can read straight through that fake smile, right? And the last thing you want is for somebody to feel like you're being inauthentic or like you have a mask on, because then that trust is broken, right? Like, they feel like they don't really know you. And so I would just say first and foremost that for me personally, and kind of what this call that I'm going to post the link to about navigating your business through life, kind of how I connect to that is specifically when I was pregnant. If you weren't on the team then, you may not know that I struggled through pregnancy, right? Like, outside of the fact that my pregnancy was challenging, like, people have challenging pregnancies all the time. I struggled real bad internally while I was pregnant. Like, figuring out how to show up every day when I felt so miserable, and that affected my mindset. And I stopped doing personal development. I stopped sharing because I didn't feel like anybody cared what I had to say, because I felt like a miserable shell of a being, and that I didn't have any value to add to other people's lives. For the majority of my pregnancy, that was the case. And this is when I went from having hit Success Club 10 every single month in my business for like 20, I don't know, a long ass time, lots of months, to not even hitting Success Club 5 during November of being pregnant. I had my daughter in March. So for those like June, July through November, I was like a miserable shell of a human, and I stopped sharing, and I stopped inviting, and I stopped doing personal development. And it was like this vicious cycle of like, I couldn't work out. I couldn't even really eat healthy because I would throw everything up. I didn't have anything valuable to share. I didn't want to get on Instagram stories because I looked like maybe I was already dead. Like, it was bad. And so that directly impacted my business, right? Like, I stopped showing up for myself. My business just like I was getting no new traction in my business. November came around, and something just happened where I like got my shit together, if you will. And I still felt like crap. I was still in and out of the hospital, but I started paying attention to me again. I started going for a walk when I could. I started exercising when I could. I started reading again. I started showing up for our team again. I started showing up in my challenge groups again. And there was nothing fake about what I was doing, because there was no way that I could have faked the struggles that I was going through. But I started working on me again, and then hit Success Club 10 again. My business started growing again and again. And it all was a testament to me just showing up for myself. And so find ways to share those struggles and those challenges that you're going through in a positive way, but in a way that still allows people to connect with the fact that you're still human and you still go through shit too, right? Because nobody wants is going to connect to somebody who they think is perfect in all areas of their life. And so we have to take that pressure off of ourselves from feeling like we can't show up if we're not like all rainbows and gummy bears, because people aren't going to connect with that anyways. And so regardless of whether it's a tough pregnancy or just like a family situation or personal things that you're going through, keep showing up for yourself every day. And I can promise you, you will find inspiration in showing up for yourself to share with other people in a way that is authentic to your brand and authentic to yourself, and in a way that still provides value to other people's lives. I started kind of just going back to my story a little bit. I stopped sharing when I was going through all of those struggles in my pregnancy because I felt guilty for feeling the way that I felt. And I didn't want people to think that I was not grateful for being pregnant, or that I didn't love the fact that I was pregnant. And that is where the internal kind of battle and struggle came from, is like I was suffering physically, obviously, but I felt like I didn't have a right to feel the way that I felt. And the second that I decided that I needed to share how I was feeling, because I'm not a unicorn. As much as I try to think that I'm a unicorn, I'm not. And there are other people out there who are going through the same thing I was going through, and who were feeling the same way that I was feeling. And they deserve to know that they weren't alone either. And so I started sharing all the hard in a way that was comfortable for me, and in a way that helped me work through my own ish in that whole situation. And you'll get a message that says, thank you for sharing. Like, I finally feel like I'm not alone. And that helps kind of spark that momentum that allows you to keep going. I don't know, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, on the flip side of that, I think you also don't want to post, like, what her post was like. Her question was like, how do I not be a downer? You know what I mean? I think you do have to, like, at some point, like you said, you don't want to post everything about, everything that you do in your family, because some stuff is private,
Yeah, there's
so
boundaries, for sure.
you can share, your life and stuff. But I think that you can also get to the point where you're sharing too much, because they're going to be like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
okay. Like, even though, hey, I feel for you, like, I don't want to have that all the time. So you have to just find that, and then like maybe find, I think where you can caveat out of, like, not just your personal life, like you're talking about the clothes, or like the adding value to someone, like set that down and plan it out. Like, hey, I'm going to do a clothes post, or I'm going to do a post about this darn bubbly that I just found. It's peach. It's so good. Like, wow, how about this? There's a story right there. I don't know, things y'all do exactly, but like that could be you're still posting, you're still being there, you're still showing up, but you're not having to share all that whenever you need to and you want to. Sure,
totally
help someone out, but it doesn't have to always be about what's in depth in your life going on. Like, boom, these clothes posts or whatever it is, that's nothing about your personal life. Outside, I'm wearing clothes today, which is good.
Some days,
which is good. But I mean, that's a way to, like, still do stuff, but not have to be so, this is my whole life.
Yes. And I think that brings up a really good point, just to kind of like, I don't see any more questions, so we'll just kind of close out with this. You have to find a way to connect with your audience in a way that is comfortable for you, right? Like, of course, you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? With being vulnerable and sharing those pieces of our lives that are challenging, because that helps us grow through them.
Yeah, you have to be
but
person.
When it comes to like your family and really challenging situations that you're learning how to navigate, only share those things if it's beneficial for your own personal journey and growth. You know what I mean? So set boundaries and figure out what and you're going to learn along the way, right? Like, you're going to figure out what's comfortable to share in a way that you can kind of turn into a lesson, or allow people to connect with you on a deeper level. But like Brett said, you do not want every single post that you make on social media to be like something that took you 3 days or 30 hours to create, and like you have to continue the caption in the comment kind of thing, because it's so deep and so a lot. Not every post you make needs to be that way, right? Like, figure out a way to tell your story and connect with your audience in a way that's comfortable for you, that still pushes those boundaries, but know that you should only be sharing things that that force growth in your own journey too, right? I think that's Oh yeah. Okay. So sometimes social media can be a light relief from some of the heavy stuff too. Just my thoughts. I totally agree. for sure. And I think that goes
Especially
back.
because you have a support group of women that.
That's what our
you
challenge
all-
groups are for.
Yeah,
you know what I
that is
mean?
good too,
Totally.
so
Yeah.
That will also help.
Absolutely. And then Megan says, as a therapist, I always tell people they have to earn the right to your story. Only share what you feel everyone needs. Yes, yes, yes. Like that's the
Good way to
perfect
put
way
it.
to say what I just rambled on and on about.
She is a
for-
rambler.
Yeah. I just get jacked.
You do. You are so jacked. Look at you.
I'm probably sweating too. Good
She
thing
comes
I'm
out of this
usually-
room sweating every time. She's like, "Wow, that was good." I'm like, "You just broke up a sweat in there. What's going on?"
And then you're like, okay, well, let's get in bed. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
But okay, I don't see any more questions. Do you guys have anything else or anything? I hope that this was helpful. I would love to do these kind of Q&A informal kind of things at least once a month on our team calls. Next Monday night, one of our coaches, Brittany Allison, is going to be doing she's like the Instagram queen. She's going to be doing a little training on Instagram next Monday, hopefully still. So that will be next
That will also
week.
kind of caveat into what that question was. So that'll be good.
Yeah, there we go.
We'll get
How
there.
to
I won't be
share
here,
your
though.
DM. No,
Maybe
I don't
next
know.
month.
We might get some requests.
I'll feature up next month again.
Can you not wear an OU shirt next time?
I know. I'll get my Arkansas cup though, so you know I'm representing. But don't read this. It was just a 5K we ran.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your Monday evening. I will post this recording on our team page, and then I'll also find the YouTube recording from the Navigating Your Business Through Life call that we did a couple months ago. I will see some of you tomorrow on our one-on-one calls for those of you that signed up. I think there are still some slots available, so it's marked as an announcement in our team page. If you want to sign up for a call tomorrow or Thursday, just hop in there and do that. It's definitely not too late. And other than that, yes, one-on-ones are on Zoom. Those of you that have signed up for a call tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I will send you an individual Zoom link to the one-on-one that we have set up. So stay tuned for that.
Mine is at 3 o'clock, so that spot is locked down. FYI.
We have family pictures tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
All right, bye guys. Have a good night.